Hi there, my name is Megan Gidcombe. I'm the reading specialist here at Heritage Lake School, and I will be working with your fifth grader in reading intervention this year. So this video is just a brief substitute for if you missed anything at curriculum night, because I know many of you are unable to come and see me because you're busy seeing your child's classroom teacher, which is very important. So I'm going to go over briefly what we'll be working on this year in reading intervention in fifth grade, as well as touch on some of the assessments will be used to guide your child's progress. So before I begin though, it's important for me to mention that your child is responsible for reading 20 minutes at home of independent level text. So that doesn't mean that they're checking out a book that's way too hard for them, that they cannot read most of the words, or that they're checking out a book that when they get to the end of every page they say they forgot what they read. That's not their independent level. That would be too tricky. That doesn't mean that you can't read those books to them at home or with them at home, but that does mean that those books do not apply towards their 20 minutes of independent reading. That 20 minutes is super, super important on helping them become better readers. So in fifth grade, we will be focusing on a variety of inferential comprehension skills. Our lessons are very similar to the third and fourth grade lessons, in which we focus on a passage, a book, or a article, something of that nature, where we talk mostly about comprehension. In September, we'll be working on using text evidence to answer questions. So you may be familiar with this from fourth grade, but again, your child is held responsible for when they ask a question. They can't just use whatever pops into their head. They have to go back to the text and say, in the text it said, they can cite a quote or use a highlighter to find a quote, and then tell us the page number or paragraph number, that sort of thing. In October, we'll be working on themes, so the big picture sort of lesson or moral of the story. November and December, we're going to work on summarizing. In January, we will be focusing on the main idea and details of a text. In February, we will be focusing on inferring or determining the meaning of unknown words and phrases in text. So when your child comes to a word that they don't know what it means, instead of having to look it up all the time or use Siri to ask or just skip right over it because they're too busy and they want to move on, can they figure out what this unknown word or phrase means based upon the words around it, based upon what the text is telling them? So, and then in March, we will be shifting a little bit to point of view, and point of view in March is going to get a little bit tricky. But I will do a couple videos to help you as the parent understand what that means, point of view. But it's like what place is the author coming from when they're telling the story? So it's not just first person or third person. It's more kind of what's the author's angle. And we do this all the time when we're, looking at reporters, for example. We kind of analyze, what does this reporter want me to think, and should I trust them, should I not? So it's getting the child to start to analyze the source. This is a super important life skill, and as they get older, they'll be exposed to more and more internet bloggers, for example, and it's important that they can evaluate the source and determine if they can trust this as a reputable source of text. So in March, point of view, and we'll be talking about how it influences the way that events are described in a text. And then in April and May, we kind of continue down the point of view route, and we will be analyzing how an author can use reasons or evidence to support particular points in text. Can they identify reasons or evidence an author gives to support their argument? And then it will also give your child an opportunity to dispute if they disagree or agree and offer more of their own evidence. So we'll kind of get into opinion pieces towards the end of the year. I hope this...
Mrs. Tomasello, please dial extension 6203. Mrs. Tomasello, 6203. Thank you.
I hope this video kind of helps give you an idea of where we'll be headed on the comprehension front. In fifth grade, I see your child 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday, and I will be seeing your child for 20 minutes each of those days. And for assessments, we will continue monitoring their progress on their reading level using Fontes and Pinnell as we have done throughout their school career. And this really is an authentic assessment where we listen to them read a text, take running records, so I kind of mark down their errors and I can analyze those to see what deficits they have in their reading, and then I also ask them comprehension questions. And the pieces of information I get from that assessment help to guide my instruction here in reading intervention. And I'll also be continuing with fluency checks, which they've had in the past couple of years. And again, fluency checks are not to get them to read faster, it's to get them to read accurately at a speed in which they can appropriately comprehend or understand a text. So that's reading intervention in 5th grade in a nutshell. And just again, your child is responsible for reading 20 minutes at least of independent level text at home. That text can come from me, it can come from the library here at school, your teacher's classroom library. If you have independent level reading material in your home, it can come from the public library. Any of those sources are great. So it doesn't always have to be my books, but it does have to be something that's not too easy and not too hard. Think of that like Goldilocks spot. The text has to be just right. So thanks for taking a view, and I hope you have a great day.